Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive. We are diving into the world of astrology. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at the Pisces tiger.
Right.
Now, just to be clear, this is somebody who is born under the Pisces sign in Western astrology and in the year of the tiger in the Chinese zodiac.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going to see what happens when those two really potent influences combine.
Exactly, and we're going to be drawing on a variety of different sources here, trying to get a full picture
Hmm.
of this personality type. So let's jump right into it. Our sources describe the Pisces tiger as charismatic dreamers, and they're said to be fiercely independent with a really strong sense of purpose. What do you make of that?
Well, yeah, it sounds like we're talking about someone who can light up a room. They have that Pisces charm,
Yeah.
but they're not just about appearances. They've got this deep inner world, this real drive to make a difference.
So not just a pretty face then.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
No, they've got substance.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to dream big and then go after those dreams.
I like it. So speaking of going after dreams, our sources highlight the Pisces tiger's behavioral patterns as being determined and visionary,
Hmm.
always striving for success. Does this mean we're talking about a workaholic here?
Not always, but it is true that they are very goal-oriented. But it's not just about climbing the ladder for them.
Mm.
They need to be passionate about what they're doing. They have a vision, and they're not afraid to put in the work to make it a reality.
So it's more about purpose than just a pure ambition.
Absolutely. It's about finding that sweet spot where their talents and their passions align, and then they really take off.
I see. Now let's talk about their emotional world for a second. Our sources mention remarkable depth and empathy, this ability to connect with others on like a profound level. Can you unpack that for us a little bit?
Sure. Pisces is a water sign, right? So Pisces tigers, they really feel things deeply. They're very intuitive and compassionate. They can really sense what other people are going through.
That's interesting. I mean, I could see how that could be both a blessing and a curse. Like they could be really amazing friends and partners, but they might also be prone to taking on too much emotional baggage from others.
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword. Learning to set healthy boundaries is really important for them.
Yeah, for sure. Now let's get a bit more practical here. What are we looking at in terms of strengths and weaknesses for the Pisces tiger?
Well, their strengths are pretty impressive. We're talking charisma, ambition, intuition, creativity, empathy. They've got the potential to be incredible leaders and just really inspiring people.
Sounds like a winning combination. But what about the flip side? Any potential pitfalls to watch out for?
Of course, nobody's perfect.
Mm.
So some things to watch out for might be impatience.
Mhm.
Sometimes they can be a bit quick to jump into things. They want to see results now. They also might have a tendency to take on too much and then end up feeling overwhelmed.
So learning to pace themselves and prioritize, that's probably key.
Definitely. And managing expectations.
Right.
Because they do set the bar pretty high for themselves.
Makes sense. Now, one thing that really jumped out at me from our sources is their eloquence and persuasion. When it comes to communication, they seem to have a real knack for it. How do you see that playing out in their lives?
Well, think about careers where communication is key. Like teaching, writing, public speaking. These are all areas where Pisces tigers could really excel. They have this way with words. They can paint pictures with their language and really captivate an audience.
Yeah, it's like that water element again, flowing and expressive.
Exactly. And then you combine that with the tiger's natural confidence and leadership qualities. They are a force to be reckoned with when it comes to communication.
All right, so we've talked about their drive, their empathy, their communication skills. What about their personal preferences? What makes a Pisces tiger tick?
Well, they're drawn to anything that allows them to express their creativity, their individuality. They value authenticity. They crave meaningful connections. And they really dislike anything that feels superficial or dishonest.
So they're not ones to suffer fools gladly.
You could say that. They have high standards for themselves and for those around them.
Makes sense. They're not going to waste their time on things that don't resonate with them.
Exactly. They're very purpose-driven. They want to make a difference.
Now everyone faces challenges in life. So how does a Pisces tiger typically handle those inevitable setbacks and obstacles?
Well, they definitely don't give up easily. They're fighters. They draw on their determination, their creativity, that visionary outlook we talked about. They'll find a way to work through it. They see challenges as opportunities for growth.
Resilient then.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
They bounce back, they learn from their mistakes, and they come back stronger.
I admire that. Now, our sources describe them as charismatic leaders in friendships. What does that actually look like, practically speaking?
Well, think about the friend who's always got your back. They're supportive, they're inspiring, they push you to be your best self, but they're not bossy about it. It
Mhm.
comes from a place of genuine care and enthusiasm.
They're the friend everyone wants to have.
Exactly. And they're always up for an adventure. They bring that spark of excitement to any group.
I like it. Now let's shift gears and talk about career and ambitions. The source mentions a drive for greatness and a potential for leadership roles or entrepreneurial ventures. What are your thoughts on that?
It makes perfect sense when you consider their personality. They're not content with just a 9 to 5. They need something more, something that allows them to express their creativity, their leadership skills, their vision.
So we're talking about CEOs, entrepreneurs, artists, innovators, people who are really pushing boundaries.
Absolutely. They have the potential to achieve great things. They're not afraid to take risks, and they're always striving for something bigger than themselves.
Definitely not afraid to dream big. Now, before we get too deep into the astrological side of things, let's talk about those fun little details like lucky numbers, colors, gemstones. What does the source say about those for Pisces tigers?
Yeah, it's always fun to delve into that. So their lucky numbers are said to be 3, 7, and 9. Colors are deep blue, purple, and gold. And for gemstones, we're looking at amethyst, sapphire, and topaz.
I love that color palette. Very regal.
It is, isn't it? Very fitting for the Pisces tiger.
All right, so now let's get into the real nitty-gritty of their astrological profile. Let's talk elements and ruling planets.
Okay, so we're blending Western and Eastern astrology here, right?
Mm.
In Western astrology, Pisces is a water sign, known for emotional depth, intuition, and empathy.
And in the Chinese zodiac, the tiger is associated with wood, which represents growth, expansion, and vitality.
Exactly. So we have these two powerful elements coming together, creating this really dynamic energy.
And what about ruling planets? How do those factor in?
So Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, spirituality. It adds this mystical, otherworldly quality to the Pisces tiger's already intuitive nature.
And I know the tiger doesn't have a specific ruling planet in the Chinese zodiac, but it's often associated with Jupiter, right?
Yeah, Jupiter's influence is often felt with the tiger. Jupiter is all about expansion, abundance, knowledge, wisdom.
So how does that Jupiterian energy manifest in a Pisces tiger?
Well, I think it amplifies their natural ambition. It fuels their desire to learn and grow, to explore new horizons. It also might contribute to their optimism, their belief in themselves, their ability to achieve their goals.
That's a potent combination. So when we bring all of these elements and planetary influences together, what kind of picture emerges of the Pisces tiger? What makes them so unique?
I think we see someone who embodies this fascinating duality. They're deeply emotional and intuitive, but they're also driven and ambitious. They're creative, compassionate, and they're always striving to learn and grow. They're complex, they're multifaceted, and they're absolutely captivating.
I love it. It sounds like we're just scratching the surface here. I'm eager to dive even deeper into the world of the Pisces tiger.
Me too. There's so much more to uncover. Welcome back to our exploration of the Pisces tiger.
So, I'm really excited to dive into those compatible matches for the Pisces tiger that we touched on earlier. But before we do that, I'm curious to hear more about some of these famous Pisces tigers. Our source mentions quite a few interesting examples. Which ones stand out to you?
Oh, there are so many. It's really a fascinating list. We have artists and athletes and leaders and entertainers, all these individuals who embody this unique blend of Pisces and tiger energy.
Well, let's start with someone who I think everyone knows, John Steinbeck, the American author.
Ah, Steinbeck, yeah. His ability to capture the human experience with such raw honesty and emotional depth is a hallmark of that Pisces influence.
And let's not forget his courage in tackling really complex social issues, right? Which aligns really well with that tiger sense of justice.
Absolutely. He was not afraid to challenge the status quo and to use his writing as a force for good. Now, for a complete change of pace, let's talk about Jerry Lewis.
Okay, the king of slapstick.
Yeah, his comedic timing, his physical humor was legendary, but there was also this vulnerability about his characters that really resonated with audiences.
Yeah, there was a sweetness to them, for sure.
And you can't deny his ambition and drive, right? To build a career that spanned decades, from his early days with Dean Martin to his solo work. That's that tiger tenacity.
From the stage to the wild, let's talk about Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
Steve Irwin. Now, he was a true Pisces tiger, fearless and so passionate about his mission. His love for animals was so evident in everything he did.
Yeah, and he wasn't just an entertainer, he was an educator.
Right. He used his platform to advocate for conservation and to educate people about protecting our planet.
Yeah.
Now, how about we talk about Hana Madlikova, the Czech tennis legend?
Okay, I don't know as much about her.
She was a force to be reckoned with on the court. Powerful serve, aggressive playing style. That's pure tiger energy.
But I imagine there was some grace there too with the Pisces influence.
Oh, absolutely. There was this artistry to her game as well. She was both fierce and elegant. And speaking of blending seemingly opposite energies, we have Bobby Jones, the American golfing legend.
Bobby Jones, yeah, he was an icon.
He won numerous championships, co-founded Augusta National Golf Club. Incredible achievements.
It's amazing what he accomplished.
His success wasn't just about talent. It was about discipline, focus, a deep respect for the game. That tiger drive for excellence combined with Pisces integrity.
Okay, so I think we've covered some really great examples of famous Pisces tigers. I'd love to move on to those compatible matches now. Let's start with the Capricorn tiger match. What do we make of this pairing?
All right, so this is a classic case of opposites attract, right? You have the dreamer, the Pisces, and the realist, the Capricorn,
Yeah.
coming together.
So how does that actually work in practice?
Well, the water element of Pisces and the earth element of Capricorn, they create a natural balance. Pisces brings that emotional depth, the intuition. Capricorn provides structure, practicality.
I see. So the Pisces tiger's dreams can actually flourish in Capricorn's grounded energy.
Exactly. It's a beautiful synergy. And with the shared ambition and drive of the tiger, they can achieve great things together.
Powerful combination. Okay, what about the Virgo tiger match? That one's interesting to me because Virgo and Pisces are opposite signs in the zodiac, right?
They are, and that opposition can actually create a really magnetic attraction. You know, they're drawn to each other's differences, and they can learn and grow from those contrasting perspectives.
So how do those differences complement each other?
Well, Virgo brings order and attention to detail, while Pisces provides the emotional depth, a bit of magic, if you will. It's like they complete each other.
I like that. And of course, they share that tiger energy, so they understand each other's drive.
Exactly. It can really motivate and inspire each other. All right, let's move on to a pairing that I think might be a little bit more intense, the Scorpio-Tiger match.
Okay, intense in a good way, I hope.
Intense can be good, right? So both Scorpio and Pisces are water signs.
So they share that emotional depth.
Exactly. There's this natural understanding and acceptance that comes with this match. And then the tiger influence adds a shared passion for life, a desire to make a real impact on the world.
They could be a real power couple.
They could, supporting each other's ambitions.
Yeah.
All right, let's lighten things up a bit and talk about the Sagittarius-Tiger match.
Okay, this one sounds fun. The adventurous Sagittarius.
Oh, this pairing is all about exploration and expansion. Sagittarius brings the optimism, that thirst for adventure. Pisces has a touch of romance and whimsy.
Oh, lots of traveling the world, trying new things, constantly seeking new horizons.
Exactly. They're always up for a spontaneous road trip or a last-minute flight to some exotic destination. And lastly, we have the Taurus-Tiger pairing.
Okay, Taurus, the bull.
This match offers stability and security, which can be very appealing for the Pisces, who can be a bit sensitive at times. Taurus is all about creating a comfortable, beautiful environment. Pisces brings the emotional depth and creativity.
They sound like they could build a really beautiful life together.
Right.
Filled with love, laughter, and, shared accomplishments.
Absolutely. It's a harmonious and supportive partnership. Now, to be fair, we should also talk about those potential incompatibilities.
Yes, the source mentions some possible challenges with certain signs, right?
Oh, specifically Aries, Gemini, Leo, and Aquarius. And of course, Sagittarius can be a bit of a wild card. Like we said, it can go either way.
Okay, so let's start with Aries. I know they're known for their fiery energy and their very direct communication style. How might that clash with the Pisces tiger?
Well, Aries' directness could be a little too abrasive for the Pisces. And on the flip side, Aries might see the Pisces as being too emotional or indecisive. So clear communication is going to be really important for this pairing to work.
What about Gemini? They're the social butterflies of the zodiac, always juggling multiple ideas.
Yeah, and that could be overwhelming for a Pisces tiger. They might crave deeper, more meaningful conversations. So finding a balance in their communication styles would be key.
Makes sense. Okay, now for Leo, the lion. They love to be the center of attention, right?
They do. And that might clash with the Pisces tiger's more understated nature. So learning to share the stage, to appreciate each other's unique qualities, that would be essential for this pairing to work.
All right, and lastly, we have Aquarius, the independent thinkers of the zodiac.
Right. And Pisces, with their deep well of emotions, might find Aquarius a bit too detached. So finding a balance between connection and independence would be really important here.
It's so fascinating to see how these astrological archetypes can play out in real life. But of course, it's important to remember that astrology is just a guide. It's not set in stone.
Exactly. Individual personalities and experiences play a huge role in compatibility.
Now, before we move on to our final thoughts on the Pisces tiger, I'd love to hear about a few more of these fascinating famous examples.
Of course, let's talk about Amanda Gorman, the young poet, who captivated the world at President Biden's inauguration.
Her words were so powerful. She spoke from a place of both personal experience and this deep understanding of the human condition.
Yeah, she has a real gift for expressing complex emotions and ideas in a way that's both beautiful and accessible. And let's not forget her courage in using her platform to advocate for change. That's the tiger's sense of justice shining through.
Okay, let's switch gears to music. John Bon Jovi.
Oh, John Bon Jovi. His music is filled with heart and passion. His lyrics often explore themes of love and loss and the search for meaning.
Classic Pisces themes.
Exactly, and he has this incredible stage presence.
Okay, let's talk about a sports legend, Julius Erving, Dr. J.
Ah, Dr. J. He revolutionized the game of basketball. His acrobatic moves, his signature slam dunk, he brought a whole new level of artistry and excitement to the sport.
And he was also known for his grace and humility off the court,
He
right?
was a true Pisces tiger,
Yeah.
balancing ambition with compassion. Okay, one more. Ansel Adams, the legendary photographer.
Ansel Adams, yeah. His black and white landscapes are just stunning.
They are. He had this way of seeing the world through a different lens, capturing the beauty and majesty of nature. And he was a passionate advocate for conservation.
A true artist and a true advocate for our planet. Okay, well, I'm feeling really inspired by all these amazing Pisces tigers. But I think it's time to move on to the final part of our deep dive.
I agree. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's one more fascinating aspect of the Pisces tiger personality to explore. That potential for conflict between the Pisces and the tiger energies.
That sounds really intriguing. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on how Pisces tigers can navigate that duality. Until next time, keep pondering this fascinating astrological blend. All right, so welcome back to our deep dive into the Pisces tiger. You know, it's been really fascinating exploring all these different facets of their personality, their strengths, their challenges, their compatibility with other signs, and of course, hearing about those amazing famous examples.
It really is a unique blend, isn't it? This combination of Pisces and tiger energy.
Yeah, and one thing that I've been thinking about throughout our conversations is that sense of duality. You know, the Pisces, the dreamer, the artist, and then the tiger, the warrior, the leader. It almost seems like a contradiction.
It is a fascinating paradox. On the surface, they might seem like conflicting energies, but as you've seen, they can actually complement and enhance each other in really powerful ways.
So how does that actually play out in the life of a Pisces tiger? I mean, does it create internal conflict or can they use it to their advantage?
I think it can be both. The key is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Recognizing which energy is dominating at any given time and consciously choosing how they want to show up in the world.
Okay, so it's like they have this toolbox of skills and traits, and they can choose which ones to use depending on the situation.
Exactly. And when they find that balance, that harmony between their inner Pisces and their inner tiger, that's when they really shine.
So can you give us some practical examples of how a Pisces tiger might navigate this duality?
Sure. So let's say they're feeling overwhelmed by their emotions. Maybe they're taking on too much from other people, or they're just feeling a bit lost and adrift. That's when they might need to tap into that tiger energy. Set some clear goals, take some decisive action, get things moving.
And what about the flip side? What if they're being too aggressive or too competitive or, just kind of pushing too hard?
And then they can draw on that Pisces energy. Practice some mindfulness, spend time in nature, connect with their creative side. Anything that helps them to slow down, to reconnect with their intuition and their emotions.
So it's really about finding that equilibrium.
Exactly. It's a lifelong journey,
Yeah.
But it's a journey worth taking.
Well, this deep dive has been so enlightening. I feel like I've learned so much about this really fascinating astrological blend.
Me too.
Hmm?
It's always a pleasure to explore these archetypes and how they manifest in real life.
Absolutely. And to all of our listeners out there, thank you so much for joining us on this astrological adventure. Whether you're a Pisces tiger yourself or someone who is, we hope you've gained some valuable insights. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, keep shining your light.